You have to think about, there are these two things that are called parameters and patterns. So inside of Fusion 360, you can create what's called a parameter. So see, it says here, can you read that from there? No, not really, Cor. Yes. It says change parameters. So parameters, what it is you can kind of set up certain measurements of things that you want. So for example, I can say inside of this model parameter, I can create I think if I just double click it. No, where's making the new parameter? Yeah, there, new parameter. So I can give the parameter, let's say I want to make that water bottle. I could call it the width. And then the expression, I can just call it width water bottle. And, oh, that's what this one is. Sorry, whoops, wrong one. Comment is there. So the expression is how big it is. Let's say maybe it's 100 millimeters. Then I can say, okay. What you do with this parameter is very helpful. So I can draw a circle, and now rather than typing in 100 meters, what I type in is width. See how it pops up and says width 100 millimeters? So then I press enter, and it's based on that. It's this parameter. So then what I can do, say for example, I don't like, they're like, no, actually I don't want it to be, or actually I can go even further. So then I can extrude this, extrude, and create whatever my object is. So it looks something like that, yep. But here's the thing. I can go back into these parameters and say, oh, actually, no, I want to change it and modify it just a little bit. What I can do is say maybe it's 115 millimeters. And what it does is it automatically changes. Can you see that? Do you see how it automatically changes everything that's according to the parameter? I can do other things. I can also use that same parameter, and I can, if I want to draw, maybe if I want to offset it, no, actually, I can draw a circle. I can use that same parameter. I can type in width minus 5. So I use the math in order to create that actual parameter. So I can do the width minus 5, and then I'll extrude this through so it creates that kind of outline, like something like, no, not that far. I don't want to do that far. Like this. Does that make sense? So I can go in, I'll change this parameter again, and no, actually I don't want it to be 115, I want it to be 95. So then, see, it automatically all changes because it's linked to that parameter. Okay? Make sense? Another thing that can also be helpful is, for example, there's another tool that's called pattern. Yes?
Does it work with percentages? Like if I say width minus 10%?
I'm not sure. You could try. Another one is a pattern. So inside of this I'm going to create something. So the parameters were all here. That's where the parameters are. Inside, I can also use I can use this pattern. There's a square pattern or there's a circular pattern. For mine, since I've got a circle, I'm going to use this circular pattern. But what I can do is I can create an object. That's not actually what I want to do. For this, I want to make a bunch of holes in the inside of this, and I just want it to kind of repeat over and over again. So I want to create this pattern of circles just over and over again. Then maybe I'll do it as a sketch. So in here, I'll create a circle kind of like somewhere around here. Make it 10. And then you can do it with a sketch or you can do it with an object. But here I want to make a circular pattern. So I'll click this, and then the center point is going to be the inside. And then see how it's creating all of these other circles? I can change the number of circles if I want. So see, I can have 5 circles. And then it adds in all of those extra 5 circles. If I don't want it to be a full, it can be partial. And I can decide, oh, actually, I only want it to go, I can do more, I can do less. But you play around with the degrees. So it could be 270. And you can just play around with this pattern So I say, okay, I got it, and now it's just repeated that circle multiple times. So Laura, I think that one would be helpful for yours as you create this repeated pattern. Team, it's helpful for you too as you create that repeated pattern. With your gears, you might need that if you can't find the right file, then you can almost create the gear itself. Does that make sense? You create the different shapes and you can use this pattern to have it repeat. Right? This was just in sketch mode, so I could finish the sketch, and then if I wanted, I can extrude it through and it'll create like a hole in my object. Okay? I could do the same thing with the entire object. Oops. So if I create a pattern, a circular pattern, create this thing, there's not a good axis. I wish I could have had a better axis. Actually, maybe just so I'll show you, I'll use another pattern, rectangular pattern. The axis though can be this way. So see how it creates multiple of the same thing? Yeah. And I can add more of these too if I wanted. Okay? Got it? That's also helpful to create these things. One last thing, team, again, this might be helpful for you too. If I can also do, there's this way where you can combine bodies. So I could take, actually, no, maybe I'll save that one for later. I just want to show you how to use patterns. Okay? Got it? Understand? Any questions or anything else you might need to know about this? So it's basically about parameters and it's about the patterns. Sure, let's see. What should I do? Sure, I can just draw a new sketch. And make a circle, say width, minus, or times 0.5. Yeah, I guess it did work. Yeah, so see, because I said I wanted it to be 90, so it changed see that? So it worked. Yeah, so because that was 4.75 because it was 95, right? Yeah, so I just multiplied by that one. Yeah, see, width times 0.5. So you just have to use the, okay? Okay, anything else? Nope. Okay with that? Okay.